Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Head Talk Show. This is your host, Aaron McFarley. I am just so happy and grateful to be here with you all on this beautiful Sunday. Okay. I don't know about you, but it's just been a blessing this whole week for me personally, honey. Okay. But I wanted to go ahead and introduce to you our guest for this afternoon or this evening or whatever time you're watching. So if you're watching us right now, whether it be on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, go ahead and type in the chat where you're watching from, okay? And then I want you to go ahead and type in the chat replay if you're actually like watching the replay, okay? Because I understand that, everybody not be watching at the same time. But I want to go to introduce my guest, Diamond Smith from Texas. And let me say, I actually, before I read her bio, I met Diamond through a trading group that I was in. And a lot of you know that I was a part of an organization where we were trading. Shout out to 1000 Banks family. But I met her there, and when you meet other women who are like in entrepreneurship and things like that, who just like get it for themselves, and you see them doing the thing, it's like really admirable. And that's one thing I can really say that I like to see. And then seeing how what she does on social media with her family, her businesses, I just think it's admirable, and I'm very inspired myself personally, and I know that you will too. That's why I got y'all on. All right. So, Diamond Smith is a Texas-based entrepreneur, mother of three, and powerhouse in real estate, taxes, and insurance, and a community service. She has a mobile grocery store that brings convenience to her local community, showcasing beauty, brains, and a heart for helping others. And so, I'm just super excited to have her on here because, again, we had a time difference. All right. So, I'm going to go ahead and bring Diamond up right now. Great day, Queen. How are you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I am amazing. I'm amazing. Thank you for joining me. I know we got a different time change and things like that, but I appreciate you taking time. I know I read your bio that I did, but go ahead and tell the people about the Diamond Smith.
That's so funny. Well, thank you. The introduction was great. Well, like you said, I'm a mother of three. I'm an entrepreneur, and I own a mobile grocery store here in Houston, and I service SNAP recipients. If those don't know what SNAP, I think it's different in different
It's
states.
EBT where we at. They call it Snap
Yeah.
too.
Okay, so that's my customer base. I'm also a realtor here. So if you're thinking about moving to Houston and surrounding areas, I'm your girl. And I also do life insurance, which I can help anybody around the world with that.
That is awesome. So I love that, Diamond. And when I met you during the trade, and I didn't know exactly all what you did. We kind of like chit chatted really here and there, but not too much. And so, once we all followed each other on social media and I got to see everything that you do, I was like, she getting it. I like this. She a go getter. And I gotta respect the hustler in you. And so you're a mom. And how many kids do you have?
I have three. So I have two boys and a girl.
Okay, two boys and a girl. And what are your age ranges that they are?
14, 13, and 8. So I got big kids.
Yeah, so that's so cool that they're at the age where they can understand and
Yeah.
see things. So how has it been for you being a mom and an entrepreneur of like multiple things? Because I know I'm like that too. So how's that been?
It's hard. I'm not gonna even lie about it. It's hard. You just have to know how to balance
Yeah.
and try to make everything just work. I tell people I wear multiple hats.
Yeah.
I'm a businesswoman. I'm a mom. I'm a chef. I'm a maid. I'm a referee. Like
Yeah.
so. So I wear multiple hats. So I just feel like at an early age, I learned that no one was coming to save me.
Right.
So I had to figure out how to save myself. And in
Mhm.
the process, I used to be married, so all my kids are by my ex-husband. So in the process of even through my marriage, I learned how to survive if it was just only me. So just having that mindset is what got me through a lot of hard times. Of course, God did all the major lifting for me, but just never giving up because I had three little people depending on me.
Right. And so I hear you said that you were previously married and that, you made the transition to that's how you just knew how to just go get it in the grace of God. So when in your mind that you become an entrepreneur, like has that just always been a thing that you wanted to do? Or how did you get into entrepreneurship?
At the time when I was younger, I honestly just realized this like a few weeks ago. I was having a conversation with God and I was like, dang, like I honestly never wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I realized at a young age I was doing things that was in that range. Like I used to make my own clothes because my mom, she couldn't afford a lot of clothes. That's being a quote unquote fashion designer. But I'm just trying to make sure I look nice going to school. When I was married, I don't know if you remember when the little wrap things came out when everybody was trying to wrap themselves to lose weight.
Yeah, I saw rap too. It works.
But I didn't look at it that way.
Yeah.
So I sold wraps. I did hair on the side as a young girl, and then but I still didn't realize that I was already doing those type of things until I say I realized that entrepreneurship was kind of something I wanted to do. Is because at the time my ex-husband, when we was married, he wanted something of his own, and the first business that we started was a moonwalk business. Now, we were supposed to go into it with a different couple, another married couple, but they kind of backed out towards the end. They got cold feet, and at the time, I didn't like the way it made my husband feel. So I was gonna be being a supportive wife,
Right.
I'm like, we about to do this anyway. You okay?
That's right, baby. Let's go ahead and do it.
Forget them. We about to do it anyway. So I never kind of really wanted to be it. I kind of wanted to climb the corporate ladder because I was in banking before I started all these businesses. I was climbing the corporate ladder in banking, and I was a super seller there too. So it's like everything. I felt like, okay, it makes sense now.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I'm good at talking to people. Good with numbers. So it's like it made sense. So by me doing the moonwalk business and doing all that little stuff on the side, it really kind of just fell in my lap, and I just kind of just realized it. Like maybe this is what I'm supposed to do because I don't want to work for anybody. I don't even have if I need to, God forbid, if I ever need to go back and work for somebody, you got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do.
But if I can have some type of say, I'm not going back. I'm not going back. It's too much freedom.
Yeah.
It's hard work, but it's a lot of freedom into it.
Yeah, and it's so crazy because my background is also banking. I used to do like foreclosure. I used to work for HSBC Mortgage Services and like Bank of America, all the different banks. But that was my background too. And the corporate ladder thing was okay, but it really wasn't. And so I understand what you mean about just kind of like rolling into, because I never thought about myself as an entrepreneur either when I was doing It Works. And I didn't think of myself as that. I even used to do like prepaid legal. I've been doing that marketing for a while, but I never saw me as like an entrepreneur in those times. But it's so funny how, life works and how like God will take you through these certain situations and these things to grow you, to mold you. And that's why the journey is so beautiful. I think that's why success is like a moving target, because it's gonna move around in different places, but it's like what you grow and develop into being, and like the things that you learn, especially from being in corporate America, you kind of learn a lot how to multitask and do a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of beautiful how you utilized it to help you in your space of entrepreneurship. So when did you become like a real estate agent in Texas?
Like 4 years ago.
Okay, cool. So how has that been for you? I know the market's been crazy for some people. What do you think, because I'm an agent too, but as for what you've seen on your end, what is the main thing that you think that your clients or people need to get their mind out the gutter about when it comes to like purchasing a home?
These interest rates. These interest rates, if they don't come out here and buy these houses and stop playing,
that's what's going to help it.
Right. I be trying to tell people that don't worry about the interest rate, because back in the day before our time, they was in the 2-digit numbers. You know, so I think people are so hooked up on the interest rate, they're missing the big picture of right now as being a buyer's market. Like it's no competition. It's a buyer's market. These, especially in new construction, they're giving away stuff because they're trying to get rid of these homes, and people are not realizing that, because once those interests go down 5 points, 6 points, it's no longer a buyer's market. There's going to be crazy competition, and you're going to be paying more for your home because now you're trying to outbid 20 other people.
Like it was during the pandemic, when the pandemic first had hit. I was like, oh my gosh, like why are we overbidding like $15,000 on this house and everybody's coming? But that's what it is. And I think it's a point of people not really understanding economics and like the economy, and understanding what can help with bringing the interest rates down in it. And it is a buyer's market. And so I definitely agree with you. And I'm glad that you said that as a thing for people to get their minds out the gutter about, especially when it comes to purchasing a home, because I think that it's a distraction to
Yeah.
make people not actually get into home ownership, in my opinion. One of the many distractions, rather, to stop people. So yeah, I totally agree. So with where you're at in Texas, you have and what part of Texas you in Houston, or where you
Yeah,
at
I'm
direct?
in Houston. I'm
You
in
in
Houston.
Okay, because I know we met in Phoenix, so that's why
Yeah.
I know you in Texas, but I was like, okay, I didn't know. I want to say Houston, I want to say Dallas. I wasn't sure. So
No, we
what
do.
made you come up with the mobile grocery store? Because I love that you made a accessible way for people to get to the grocery store. You actually also mentioned in the beginning that you do accept EBT and SNAP benefits. So
Right.
what made you come up with that?
Actually, because I've been doing the grocery store about 9 years now.
Oh, okay, wow.
Yeah, so I've been around before Uber Eats and Instacart.
Yeah.
But actually, my dad, he does it, and this was around the time I was still married. And my stepmom, actually, she was like, "Why don't you ask your dad about the grocery store business?" Because he was doing it for years before. And I was like, "Well, let me see your numbers. What your numbers looking like?" And I know what type of lifestyle my daddy lived. He real loud. Okay, so I'm like, okay, his number, like your numbers make sense. How much I need to start. And so when I seen his numbers, I'm like, oh wow, like okay, I like those type of numbers. And my dad is like, well, I'll teach you how to do the business, but I'm gonna charge you 10 grand.
Okay.
That's what he charged me 10 grand to learn how to do the business. Plus, I had to come up with 15 grand just to even start. So I had to come out the door with 25 grand to learn how to do the business. So, and that's how I got started. And I was like, I was kind of upset about it. I'm like, what parent go charge their kid to learn how to do something? But I was like, okay, he's talking about it's just the principle. I'm teaching you business.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like gonna make you want to do it more, because like if they do it for just because, it's like you ain't, because you put money into something, you finna really go in.
Yeah, definitely. So I got mixed feelings about it, but 9 years later, I'm still here. So
And you done made your money back. And
yes, I made my money back. I've actually made my money back 2 months in the business. So
really,
yeah,
we got to talk offline. Oh my gosh, I think that's just so beautiful and just so amazing, because like you said, y'all been doing it before Uber Eats, Instacart, and things like that, and then bringing it in a community where sometimes it may be hard for people to get around to the store. So how you just ride around the communities and just meet people?
Actually, when I first started, I used to pass out flyers and just do a lot of networking with folks. But now that I've been doing it so long, most of my clients are continuous clients or just word of mouth, really.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful. What has been one of your biggest lessons in business?
Scared money don't make no money. Coming into things and knowing that it's okay to start over. Maybe that plan didn't work, but it's okay to just go back to square one, go back to the drawing board, and just keep going and don't give up. Because at the end of the day, if you're not working, you're not making any money.
Right. And you mentioned earlier that you are you're divorced and you are a single mom doing your thing, like killing it. It's a lot of women like that, right? And I think I know women who have children and just life has just happened to them, but they've allowed those situations to kind of beat them down, and they just haven't just stepped out and just walked out on faith. What would you say to those women who have children who may have been through a divorce and maybe just don't know where to start at, but they know they want to do something to get into either entrepreneurship or just things to make them a better person? What would you tell her?
I will tell her that she has to heal herself first. I learned how to go through survival mode because reason why I'm divorced, because my husband, he was abusive at the time, and so I had to learn how to survive in that situation. And then even before that, just my childhood, both of my parents were drug dealers, so I had to grow up really fast. So I've been learning the survival skills since I was a little kid. But just coming into being the person I am today, I had to heal from my divorce, from my childhood, just those situations, and then also just put my big girl drawers on and just push through. At the end of the day, I knew that I wanted to live a certain lifestyle. I didn't want to be, and this is no shade to people that's on it, but I didn't want to be on Section 8 or food stamps or like I didn't want to do that. I wanted my kids to live a different life than I had. So I knew that I had to just muster through and keep going. Like I have days where I cry, and I talk to God, and I'll be like, Lord, I don't know what I'm doing, but I keep going because I have to. Like
I love that, Diamond, and that's why I do things like this and shows like this, because like you can know people from social media or networking with them and different things like that. But like when I get to sit down and talk to you, it's like you get to know that person, and now I can understand why you move the way you move, why you're doing what you're doing. And I really love to hear that, because it's a lot of people who come from backgrounds like that who, could have went a different direction, or could have allowed the circumstances of life to take them a different way, but you've allowed it to allow you to grow. And then not only that, what a great role model you are for your children, like to see mommy like doing the damn thing. Like, So what do your kids think about like everything that you're doing and stuff? What do they think about it?
To be honest, I think they just think that mama got it. Like I don't like I wanted my kids to be well-rounded. I don't want them to like become spoiled but it's kind of hard to do when you work so hard and you trying to make sure that they don't have to experience the things. But I make sure that I put my kids around environments where they can see all sides.
Yeah.
They can see all sides, see all different walks of life. You can see how you want to live, how you don't want to live, and you can see, because right now I feel like my kids just think, oh, mama just work hard. They don't really know. I try to not. I talk to them about different things that I'm going through, but I try not to let them know like the real struggles.
Yeah.
Until they get a little older, and then I really feel like once they get older and they go through life themselves, they're gonna be like, "Dang, mama, you made that look real easy."
Make it look easy. Yeah, because kids be oblivious sometimes to what you, like you said, because you grow up one way and then you don't want to like let them necessarily see that. But at the same time, like I keep it 1,000 with my son, as far as conversation wise about the world and what's going on. But at the same time, still protect his youthfulness and his innocence, but also I don't want him to be spoiled. So I definitely understand that for sure, because it's kind of hard. It's like when you're doing your thing, it's like you want your kids to have the very best, the things that you didn't have possibly, right? And how society is now, it can kind of get, you want to make sure that they're at least understanding and aware that like money does not grow on trees. You got to work with it,
Right.
And
I teach my kids about sales, because they be trying to sell candy and stuff at school, so they're trying to get stuff off the truck. And I charge them the price I charge my customers, and they be like, "Mama, really?" I'm like, "Yes."
But I love that, because like you said, your daddy did the same thing to you, and look at you 9 years later doing what you're doing. So it's the, like you say, the principle, it's the lessons behind it, so that they can have that. So I think that's really, really great. And I'm gonna have to really do better and utilize that too. I know I got one kid, I'd be like, okay, huh? So now, he's 10, he's gonna go to middle school. So like a lot of things he is working with, because we have a cleaning business, our family, we done had it for like about 15, 17 years or whatever. So like he'll come out and he'll check the people's rooms and he'll do his little thing. And then like the other weekend, he told my mom's like, "Nan, I need my money. I need you to pay me." And so, but if that's another beauty with being an entrepreneur too, because you can really show your kids that if I still worked at the banks, I couldn't bring my child to my job to really show them how to do that said job,
Right.
Well, this way, I think it's a lot better, you know what I mean? Because I love Grant Cardone. I'm pretty sure you know who Grant Cardone is. And I had went to go hear him speak, and he was saying how he asked his kids, "Y'all want to go to school, or y'all want to, come learn through the business with us?" So their kids are homeschooled, but the point he was making is, as an entrepreneur, who better else to teach my child how to do something?
Right.
To show my child real life situations and things like that. So I really like that you do include them in your business. But I think a lot of times some people don't include their kids in the business, part of the business, so they can like learn it and learn responsibility as you're doing with your children. So I think that's super dope. So Diamond, what do you have going on next, or how would you want people to stay in contact with you? Especially with the life insurance part. I know we didn't really touch on that all the way through and through. I had another young lady who is a life insurance agent, but what do you want to tell people about life insurance that they need to get their mind out the gutter about?
Get it. Get it? Because the thing about life is we don't know when we come in this world. We don't know when so we can't predict, or it's no for sure thing that you're going to be born into this world. But once you're here, you're definitely going to pass away. Yeah. You're definitely going to pass away. You might not know the time or when, but we're going to all leave this earth one day. And if you have a family that you're taking care of and they're not protected, or you're not protected, where you can't leave them something to get through those years that you're not going to be here, then shame on you, honestly. Because at the end of the day, life insurance is your last love letter to your family. Life insurance is pretty much how a lot of I don't want to say this, but how other races' families become rich, because they have all these different policies and they leave them to their families. Now, whatever their family do with it after the fact, that's on them. But it's the point that they have it. And they're not setting up GoFundMe accounts. They're not making fish fries. They're not selling T-shirts to bury their loved ones. I'd rather someone deal with a death of their family member and not have to worry about how they're going to pay their bills. That way they can properly heal. Because you don't got to go to work for the next 2 years. You don't got to go to work for the next 10 years because your loved one that passed away made sure that you was set up. So especially in our Black community, I want them to understand how important life insurance is. If you can go out there and pop bottles and buy Jordans and buy these, all this different stuff that we will not need later on in life, then you can afford you $100 policy, $50 policy. And then people don't understand that you can actually build wealth through your life insurance policy. They don't teach us that.
No. And that's by design that they don't teach us that, for sure. That's definitely by design that they definitely don't teach us that. So I'm glad that you said it. I like that you said it's like a final love letter.
Yes, it is.
I've never heard anyone put it like that. And that's actually really beautiful, yeah, that's really beautiful, and that puts it into more of a perspective that you said it like that. So I thank you for that. So guys, if you look at the bottom of the screen, you see how you can contact and call Diamond. Okay, she does policies nationwide. She still houses Texas wide. Okay. So Diamond, I really, really appreciate you. I want to be able to respect your time and things like that. Final thoughts from you as far as the last thing that you will just want to get off your chest, what you just may feel people need to get their mind out the gutter about any topic. It could be to stop listening to Sexy Red. It don't really matter. It's just what you think that people need to get their mind out the gutter about.
I just want people, especially our community, to understand their worth, understand how important it is to love yourself, and just to never give up on yourself. You can give up on everybody else, but just don't never give up on yourself, because you are the only person that can change your destiny.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Diamond. I really, really appreciate you. Have an amazing work week, and I hope to talk to you soon.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Also, so Diamond was amazing. She gave so much good information, especially about the life insurance, y'all. Y'all got the gift in life insurance, all right? So, guys, check me out next Sunday for my next guest. I'm super excited. Thank you for tuning into the Head Talk Show, and I appreciate you all. Bye.